The other day, my 10-year-old son came home from school and told me that his teacher had told him that everything he does on a computer and iPad is being watched by the police. The next day, I was told by a friend that the secondary school where my son will attend are introducing finger scanning for their lunches, no cash. A couple of days after that, I was told by another friend that his daughter was not allowed to play hockey because she hadn't had the MMR vaccine. We have been socially engineered to accept this shit lying down without a fight. Step by step, these social engineers have acclimated us to accepting draconian police state measures that would have only been 20 years ago unimaginable. In these people's dysfunctional world, everything is just purely a coincidence. It makes me sit down and think that this really is happening. The whole New World Order agenda, it really is happening. The dystopic world that Orwell spoke of is happening day by day. It's playing out in front of us day by day. And in many respects, we're way past what Orwell envisaged in 1984. They are now talking about banning protests. Just banning them. Swipe of a pen, law of the land. Pretty cool, huh? I forget who said that. But I have heard no one, and I mean no one, say anything about this. Protesting peacefully will soon become a criminal offence. How are we going to hold people to account then? We're not. They're just going to run over us even more. Is it that people genuinely can't see what's going on? Is it a case of them just denying it? Or is it a case of them having been mind controlled so much and being engineered so much that they will only ever believe the mainstream media? People talk of a great awakening, a great stirring, that it won't be long before we're bashing down the gates to 10 Downing Street, pitchforks in hand. But I simply do not see it. People are so lethargic, they're so energyless, they just cannot get excited or emotional about freedom. Full stop. Being informed in this world is like a curse. It's so frustrating having to avoid giving an opinion when you hear people discussing the news. Is really hard because I know if I do interrupt them and I do comment, I'll go off into a rant and I'll tell them how stupid they are. Take my mate Robin. I've discussed him before. He's a lovely bloke, very intelligent. I would go so far to say he's even a bit streetwise. However, he will never, and I mean never, ever, consider anything to be true other than what is fed by the government via the mainstream media. He will not look at any alternative view. None. Zilch. Zero. He will not consider anything other than the official version of absolutely everything. Journalism has become a joke. Journalists should be stripped of their title and called repeaters because that's all they do. They simply repeat what they're told by official sources, i.e. the government. I have to smile when you hear the likes of Eamon Holmes tell us all that he's a journalist and has been for many a year. I mean, seriously, come on. 99% of journalists haven't done a day's journalism in their lives. They repeat what they're told day after day after day after day. Never, ever thinking for themselves. Journalism nowadays works like this. The government release a press release about a subject. The journalist then repeats what the government statement says. Possibly, if they're really good at their jobs, they may even rewrite the press release slightly, in their own words. But the content is still approved by the government, so their editors can sleep safe in the knowledge that no journalist under him will say anything that isn't approved by the government. I fear we're going to have a generation of complete and utter retards on our hands very soon. A generation of ignorant zombies. An example of this recently is Joey Essex on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me a Career or whatever it's called. It may surprise you that I don't actually watch this. However, I heard the other day that he apparently cannot tell the time. He was being celebrated by the person who was saying this. He was being held up as some kind of cheeky chappy to be loved, a national treasure in the making because he cannot tell the time. Celebrated for being a complete and utter ignorant arsehole. We hold ignorant people on pedestals nowadays. It's not scientists, inventors, creators that we admire. It's talentless nobodies. Ignorance is a choice in this day and age. We now think that people are showing off because they're informed and that having an opinion is now somehow conspiratorial. The world truly is upside down. I heard some lyrics the other day in a song and it said, "What is the point in democracy when ignorance is celebrated? Never a truer word spoken. What is the point in democracy if the people voting are completely uninformed, socially engineered idiots?" I suppose it's like the old saying, if voting worked then it would be banned.